Hey everybody, Ali Madawi here. We're back with one more with you, and right now we are speaking English. I know I did one earlier in Spanish, another one earlier than that in French, and it's time to go English, baby. So first and foremost, I'd like to welcome all of you who are watching with us right now. If this is your very first time, please drop a number one. If this is not your very first time, just drop I'm a regular homie. So today we're going to talk about social media, and am I the only one who's liking your posts? Do you feel like sometimes I wish I got more people to engage with me in my videos, my posts, my comments, whatever it is that you're posting? Of course you do, because I do too. So let's talk about some of the things that you're doing right now that may be turning people off, or maybe just pushing people to go somewhere else and not pay attention to your videos. First things first, especially when it comes to live videos, the moment you start, you go. You don't wait until people get on to watch. And the reason I share this with you, see, just like you, just like me, we have a short attention span. We don't want to give more than 10 seconds. We get in, we see for 10 seconds, and we get out if the topic is not to our liking. And what you need to understand, especially with live videos, most people, I would even say 90% of the people who are watching, they will hop on just to remove the notification out of their phone, and they will go back later on and watch it in recording. So keep that in mind, so you don't mess with your mindset and think like, oh my God, I have nothing good to say. No, it's not that. It's just, unfortunately, people don't have that full attention right away. So do your very best and give it all you got. Now let's talk about some of the things that you may be doing right now that are killing your social media. First things first, let's talk about you being the infomercial, the sales agent. That is the worst thing you can do. See, there's a keyword in social media. Social. Social. What does that mean? Does it mean selling stuff? Does that mean talking about your business, your product, or your service all the time? Does that mean let me just sell? That's not what social media is for. Now, don't get me wrong. Yes, you can utilize it to build a following, to build an audience, to build a movement, and then obviously you can monetize and you can redirect some of them to a private group, a sales page, or whatever the case may be. But if all you are doing is talk about business, especially if you are branding a company, a product, and a service nonstop all the time, it is annoying. Let me just keep it real with you. Let me give you an example. When you're watching TV and a commercial comes up, what do? You change the channel. You don't even want to watch it. Some of you pay $7 a month for a DVR so you can fast forward through commercials. So why the heck are you turning your Facebook page into a commercial space? People want to just go on and kind of have a little bit of a community, chat, talk, watch a funny video, listen to something that's inspiring. They don't want to listen to your business. Now, I know what many of you think. Okay, Ali, so how do I build my business on social media? You build relationships. You build meaningful processes. Let me give you some of the secrets and tips of how you can actually become an authority, a freaking strong presence, if you will, right? So first things first, consistency. You have to be consistent with what you're talking about, with when you're talking about it, and how often do you talk about it. See, I posted earlier, it's one thing to post positive quotes, is another thing to live it. See, you have to showcase what you are claiming to be. Because we all can be something from a post, right? But are we really living what it is that we are saying? So you want to build your credibility. You want to build that storyline. You want to build influence. You have to document. How do you do that? Facebook Live, daily posts that are actually true to you, not just because you're making money from a product or a service that you're selling. The worst thing you can do is to be an infomercial. So make sure that you yourself are consistent with the amount of activity that you are doing and how often you are doing it, whatever it is that you're talking about. See, if I see that one day you're talking about, candles all the time, and then the next day you're talking about water, and then then the next day you're talking about Bitcoin and it's all random stuff. There is no consistency in your message, and you are what I like to call a QVC. You know, QVC, the channel that they're selling stuff all the time on, they do infomercials. That's what a QVC is. You're not consistent. You don't have an identity. So make sure that you have an actual identity and stick with it. The next thing that you need to do is content. What is content? See, you can read a chapter of a book and you can give a synopsis of it on a video. You can watch a YouTube video of Tony Robbins or Les Brown or someone that inspires you, and you can put a video of, here are my takeaways from a video that I just watched. You can go to a seminar and have all your bullet points and say, here are my bullet points of what I learned from this seminar. See, that is value that you have learned because you invested in yourself, and now you are teaching into others. The more you teach, the more value that you're going to have in the marketplace. And however much or however often you are doing it, however much that you're building your credibility, your influence, and your track record. See, people see me at least 3 times a day doing these videos, and throughout the whole day, my name is getting posted everywhere. I mean, you can Google me and I will come up everywhere. The reason for that is because I have a system that helps me create, and I'm not talking about a lead system. No, I literally have a virtual team that works for me, and I have myself and a way of doing things that I am consistent with my activity and my action. I'm a human too. I still have life events that happen. You know, my wife and I just welcomed a beautiful baby boy, little Sebastian, about a month and a week ago. So I took off some time for myself, right? But I had so much content online that it didn't seem like I was out of touch. So now picked up right where we left off from. So you yourself have to create content. Content does not mean that I have to create brand new information that has never been created before. It is simply you invest the time or resources on a book, on a video, on a seminar, or whatever that thing is, and then you are learning, and then you are teaching it. So become a teacher, and the more you are teaching, the better things or the better value that you are giving to the masses. Now, I know what some of you may be thinking, because I was there too. I'm not good at teaching. I'm not good at speaking. Okay, guess what? When you start a video next time, start with, hey everybody, I'm really bad at public speaking. I suck at this teaching thing, but you know, this guy, Ali, said, you know, it'll help if I just share with you what I know. So what I know is I'm afraid, I'm scared, I have no idea how to talk in front of people, but I'm courageous enough. I have it within me to let y'all know that if I can do this thing, you too can. If I'm scared to death and I'm still talking in front of a video, you too can do it. See, because you're giving that message of, I have no idea what I'm doing, I'm scared, and I'm still putting my face out there, you are now inspiring and motivating that one person who may be on the other side of the phone, who is just as scared, who is just as terrified of public speaking, but now all of a sudden they are reacting based on how you made them feel. See, we are emotional human beings. We move by emotion. I can give you the most incredible techniques and training and everything, but if there is no real raw emotion behind it, you're not gonna be moved. The reason you spend money every single day, because it's an emotion that made you spend the money. It's emotion that made you fall in love with that dress, the shoes, the cell phone, the iPad, you know, the pen, as stupid as it is. It's an emotion that made you want to buy food as bad as it was or as good as it was. So create an emotion by being real. You gotta be real when it comes to social media. I can guarantee you everybody reads right through you. Everybody's like, okay, all of a sudden she is positive. I wonder what video she just listened to, because last week all she did is rant. Or, oh yeah, here he goes again, starting a brand new 30 days, new day, new me. But then all of a sudden he dropped off the page of the earth after something did go wrong. So you have a responsibility to yourself and to the masses to be consistent. See, consistency Curiosity is the only way for you to win. The only way for you to quit is what? We all know that cliche is to quit, right? There is no such thing as failure. I will try as much as possible. I will try as many as possible. I will try as often as possible. And I don't care what you think, I'm going to keep on going until I win. That should be your attitude. But if you are withholding, if you are keeping and being just this afraid or this just having a secondary agenda, if you will, right? Like if all you do is talk to people when you want to sell something, they're going to see through that. You know, literally, I can tell when somebody's posting something genuine or they're doing it just because they're trying to sell whatever they have behind the scene, right? I teach curiosity post, but you still have to be genuine about that curiosity post. You can't just post something to get likes and comments and share and to target people. You genuinely have to create an emotion. You genuinely have to believe in whatever that is that you are posting about. Most people are posting just to post just so they can market something, a company, a product, or a service. Become part of your community. Become that caregiver, that loving human being, that positive, incredible, phenomenal, changing person that the world is waiting for. Because here's what's going to happen. You're going to post something so clever as a technique. And again, I teach curiosity posts and I see all day long nothing but curiosity posts. And that's great. I'm so happy for you. But if you don't genuinely believe in what you're posting about, and when you actually go ahead and start communicating with people and they realize, oh, that was just a bait. You never really cared about what you were talking about. You just completely lost your credibility. You lost every single thing that you claim you stand for. Especially when that conversation happens and people start not necessarily judging, but they start sniffing around if what you actually claim is true. And I talked to so many people. I spoke to a gentleman earlier today and he claimed that he was making a whole lot. And I was like, oh my goodness, that's amazing. How many customers you have in this company? Now, he had no idea that I actually knew the compensation plan of his company by heart. And when he told me how many customers, I said, wait, you're telling me that the company pays this much? He said, yes, absolutely. And I'm thinking to myself, there's no way. There's no way. And I looked it up and it wasn't factual. So now, I love them still. I didn't really give him a hard time. But guess what? There are people who will go and do some homework and come back and say that guy was a liar. That person was not actually telling the truth. So be very, 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 very careful with what you're posting versus the truth, with what you're publicizing versus the actual fact. Because sooner or later, if you're dumb enough to make something up, you're dumb enough to get caught. That's what my mom said to me once upon a time. So don't lie, right? People are going to catch up. I actually even wrote a whole book, and this is no by any means, well, maybe it's a little bit of a plug, but I have to admit it. I wrote a book called The Lion Network Marketer that is educating how to actually do business the proper way. And I just put a whole biography of my life, how I did many, many, many things wrong and how I now turn it around and do it the right way. So make sure that you are not documenting yourself and killing your business. And the more you're genuine, the more you're honest, the more you're consistent with your true self, the more you're getting myself and everybody else to say, oh, I want to watch this video again. Oh, I want to share this video. I want to communicate with this person. That was so direct, so raw, so real. I've had people that I've been in business with that love the fact that I'm so straightforward and to your face. And I had some people that actually wanted me to keep on hiding the facts and, you know, kind of just, you pray about it and God has a funny way to taking you out of that circumstance, right? If you don't belong there, you'll be taken out of it. So please make sure that you are genuine. Make sure you are consistent and don't be a salesperson. You are a professional. You are an entrepreneur. You are an attraction point. You are a sexy point in this world. And the only way that you can showcase that is if you act like it. How do you act like it? Instead of talking about your business, talk about your movement and your beliefs in that business. See, if you are in, for example, the insurance business, instead of talking about insurance prices and putting quotes and numbers that no one cares about, talk about an actual human being that you just worked with and helped, and how you actually changed their lives. If you are in a health and wellness company, instead of talking about the product over and over and over and over and over and over again, make sure that you actually talk about how you feel, how much better you are, how it means to you to play with your child while you never could a month or 2 months prior to that. And what's going to happen? People are going to ask, how did you do it? Opportunity. Now you can talk about your business. See, they asked, you didn't solicit. You're not targeting and marketing to people. People are coming to you. And how awesome would it be if people can come to you every single day and ask you, how do you do what you do? How can I be in business with you? How can I have the same results that you're having? How do you do that? True, real, genuine, honest self, with consistency and with great content. And content does not mean that you have to have a perfect website with a perfect ad and all that stuff. It just means that you're real. Just press that, go live button and be real. This is a window. This is as real gets. If I have a zit in my head or my face or something, I can't hide it, right? If I say something wrong, I can't hide it. It's funny. Many of you don't know because I do a Facebook live in French every day, and I have not fully spoken in French for 14, 13 years. And I know for a fact that I lost a whole lot of it. I mean, when you don't speak a language for that long, almost a decade and a half, you're going to lose some vocabulary and you start thinking differently, right? I think in English and I speak in French. And what ends up happening is I admit it to myself and everybody, hey, forgive me, everyone. My French is not 100%, and I hope you understand what I'm saying. And I know sometimes I make a lot of mistakes. I know some enunciation does not happen appropriately. I know some vocabulary, even in English, for crying out loud. My accent comes out sometimes, but that's what makes me who I am, and I accept it, and I love it, and I cherish it, and I'm happy with it. You got to do the same exact thing. Accept your flaws. Let the world be part of it and stop living in the shadow of somebody else. What I mean by that, I used to chase $1 million. I used to want to be my uplines. I used to want to be my mentor. I used to want to have what they have and dress like they dress. Guess what? I got amazing, comfortable shorts on right now and my Medawi Enterprise t-shirt in my own home, and I love it. The best wealth I have ever accumulated is the fact that I wake up when I'm done sleeping and I do what I want, when I want, with whomever I want, and that is my beautiful wife and my baby boy. You cannot, I don't care how much money in the world you have, you cannot exchange that quality of time, that I spend with my family every single day for any amount of money. Now, don't get me wrong, money is important to make, but make sure that you are doing it for the right reasons, right? For the right goals, if you will. Now, I know I kind of derailed a little bit. Social media, let's get back to it. Do not be a salesperson. Do not be, tomatoes. That's not the place for it. This is a social place, right? Be social, be approachable, be relatable, right? Be human. Talk about what's important to you. Make these videos your daily journal. If you had a journal, what would you write in it? Open up to people and watch the masses connect to you, and the magic is going to happen. Use what I like to call the 90-10 rule. 90% of the time, you can talk about, anything and everything you want generic, and 10% of the time, you can talk about your product, your service, your company, and you can even do that in a nice generic way. Let me give you an example. Let's say this is just water, by the way, it's not a product, but let's say this water was a shake, right, that I want to promote. Now, let's say the name was right in here of the company. So what I would do is I'll put my hand right on it and I say, I've been drinking this shake for the last 30 days and I lost 10 pounds. I feel so much healthier. I feel so much happier. I actually feel good. I used to have this stress. I used to have this. I used to have that. And thanks to this, I would never start. So I'm talking about what it does. I'm not actually exposing what it is. And here's what's going to happen. Everybody will start posting and commenting and sending you messages. What's the name of that product? How much does it cost? What company is that product from? So on and so forth. Now that is the best way that you can attract clientele. That's more of a direct approach without actually being a salesperson. You're educating and coaching and teaching the masses, right? Same exact thing can happen in a service company. Same thing can happen in a product or a gadget or whatever the case may be. Make it curiosity. See, if I know everything I need to know from a video, I have no reason to talk to you. You have no value to add into my life. But if I have to inquire, I wonder what that thing is. Now you gave me enough of a reason to reach out to you. And the more reasons I have to reach out to you, the more you got me intrigued and piqued my interest as we talk about in the business world. So I hope this helped you out a little bit. Please give us some hearts, give us some likes, and share this video. Drop a number 1 if this helped you out. Drop a number 2 if you are brand new in here, because I'd like to make sure I contact you. And if I have never given you a complimentary 30-minute session, I'd like to do so for you. So let me know, and I'll make sure I'll do just that for you. Much love to all of you. You make it a great, fantastic, amazing, happy, positive, abundance, healthy day, because you deserve it. I'll talk to you all soon. Take care, everybody.